Hi and welcome to Rent App. My name is Niels and I head business development here. Today I'm going to walk you through the process of how to get started with Rent App and how Rent App can actually help you enhance your on-time rent payment collections by simply implementing our solution. The good news is it doesn't actually require any work. There is no technical integration, no contracts, nothing to sign up for. All you actually need to do if you want to get started with Rent App is tell your residents about this being a payment option in your buildings right now. Let's get started. So first and foremost, Rent App is there to eliminate late fees. The way we do that is we allow residents to split their rental payment into 2 equal installments. So they pay half their rent on the 1st, half on the 15th, and you basically get paid in full. Without Rent App, up to 25%, and I probably don't have to tell you this, up to 25% of your residents pay their rent late. That leads to a lot of overhead work, which is not desired, of course. And so we try to eliminate that problem by giving renters the flexibility they need to align their pay cycles basically with their rent payments, and you still get paid in full. Once you start working with us, or once you actually offer Rent App in your buildings, renters avoid late fees, and they can also improve their credit score completely for free. So just by nature of them linking their bank account to our application, we automatically detect rental payments in their bank account, and then we report those to the credit bureaus. So these are the main 2 benefits. If the renter pay their rent through us and they actually pay in their property management software in the resident portal, they can split their rental payment into 2, subject to approval. And if they don't, we still do the rental reporting to the credit agencies, Equifax and Experian, completely for free. You, of course, the main benefit as a property manager is that you get paid on time. Rent App works in every building with any property management software. So it's regardless of whether you use Entrada, AppFolio, Yardi, Buildium, Tenant Cloud, RealPage, Lively, Build, Doorloop, any of the property management softwares are actually supported by Rent App. And the reason for that is that we actually issue a virtual account and routing number to the resident in the sign-up process. And I'll show you in a second what that actually looks like. But basically, as long as your portal supports ACH payments, your residents can already use our solution in your buildings without you needing to do anything at all. I briefly want to talk about split pay and explain to you how that works and what the cost is to the resident. We charge $9.99 a month plus 1.5% of the actual rental amount. So if you have low income tenants, for example, and their rental payments are relatively low, they can use split pay very, very cheaply. If it's a high rent property, then they would also just pay 1.5% of the actual transaction amount. There's no commitment to the resident, so the resident doesn't have to use it for 6 months, or they basically, as long as they keep using it, they don't have to reapply for split pay, and they of course need to maintain in good standing with Rent App. There's 0 cost to you, so it's completely free to the property manager, and there aren't any fees or any processing fees that we charge you as the partner. It's important to note that we approve about 30 to 40% of all the residents who apply for split pay. This is significantly higher than some of the other platform providers out there, simply for the reason that we actually live outside of your property management software. So we don't operate directly in Yardi or in AppFolio. We sit basically outside in front of the property management software, and we just issue a account and routing number to the resident that they can then use to pay in the resident portal. So that means we can approve a much, much higher rate of residents, because when they sign up, we get a very clear picture of their current finances, and we can then say, well, it looks like this resident is very likely to pay us back within 2 weeks based on their income to expense ratio, and then we just approve them. So we get about 30 to 40% approval rate of all the residents which apply for split pay. We have both an iOS and Android app. You can, of course, also use it just on your computer via a web browser. And all you need to do is actually connect your bank account and then get started. I'm going to show you really quickly what that looks like on the app itself. So the first step when somebody signs up is they need to tell us how much rent they're looking to split with us. In the example over here, we assume a $1,000 rental payment. The way that works is we connect to the renter's bank account via Plaid. That's a secure method of actually establishing a connection between our application and their bank account. We then see what their current income is, what their expenses are. Based on that, we come up with an underwriting decision. In this example, of course, a resident is approved. So, we allow them to split their rental payment. What that means to them is they, on rent day, need to have $500 on their account. And 2 weeks later, we'll charge them an additional $500. You, of course, get paid on rent day and in full. Now, what happens after that is that once a resident is approved, we issue them an account number and a routing number, and they then use that number in your resident portal. So they go to their regular resident portal, they add a new payment method, they say ACH account, bank details, slightly different nomenclature in different property management softwares, but essentially they add a new bank account in the resident portal, and they use the Rent App account and routing number that we've just issued for them to actually connect to the resident portal. The way this then works in your property management software is that on rent day itself, your property management software, let's say Entrada, would pull the full rental amount from the linked payment method of your resident. So resident had a new bank account, it's a Rent App bank account, they linked that in Entrada, and then let's say the rental balance is $1,000. Entrada would then go in and try to get $1,000 from this bank account. We then split that rental payment in the background in two. So we charge half the rent to the debit card of the renter, and then we charge another half after 2 weeks. You, the property management firm, of course, gets paid in full on rent day. The good news is this already actually works in your buildings as of today. So regardless of whether you've partnered up with us or not, or whether a resident just basically try to use our solution in your building, it does already work. So they can simply add a new payment method. Think of it as an alternative to paying via a Chase bank account or Bank of America account. They can just use a Rent App bank account to pay in your building today. If you're interested in getting started with Rent App and split pay, and if you think that free credit building and flexible rental payments via split pay is a good option for your residents to get paid on time, we don't require any integrations, no technical integrations, because it just works via ACH, so the payments can already go through. There are no fees to you, and there are absolutely no contracts. So the only thing that we really ask from you in terms of support is that you tell your residents about it, and we have a bunch of cool flyers. And if you click on the link in the presentation here, you can actually just get the marketing materials. These are some of the examples. We have flyers both in English and in Spanish, as well as in Portuguese, I believe, right now. So you can just check out our marketing hub, and I'll link that in the description of the video. You can just check out our marketing hub and download all the marketing materials you need. You can then distribute those to your residents. They would basically go in and scan a QR code. They sign up for the app, and if they are approved for split pay, they can just start using it in your portal without you needing to do any work at all. I've also linked a couple of frequently asked questions for you over here, and I'm just going to leave that slide on for a second so you can review that at your own leisure. If you have any additional questions, we have a very extensive property manager FAQ. I've also linked that in the presentation, and I'll leave the link below in the description as well for you. That's it. If you would like to set up a meeting with me, you can go to rent.app/Nils, Nils, or you can just shoot me a quick email at nils@rent.app, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much.